Okay, I think this is fine. Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Crime Pays, but Botany doesn't. Today we're coming to you from the border between Oaxaca and Puebla State in a beautiful south central Mexico. Nice Mimosa Louisana right there with those purplish white spices. Also got a beautiful Euphorbia rossi on it down there. Kind of like a bigger Euphorbia antisyphilitica. Got the wax and shit. You know, it's got the Candelaria or Candelilla, whatever shit you call it. Anyway, as you could see, we're looking at a small forest of columnar cacti, silvery columnar cacti. If you think that's a lot right there, that's nothing. There's hillsides just a little bit higher up from me that are just covered in them. There's just, I mean, you could barely walk through it. It's so thick. Almost looks like an optical illusion when you're standing on the other side of the hill from it. Anyway, this species is Cephalocereus columna-trajani, and we're going to talk about it and talk about its peculiar ecology and its peculiar habit. You might notice all those guys are bending all in the same direction. Kind of a strange thing. You never really see cacti doing that unless they've been damaged, but this is just part of the natural habit of how this thing grows. You can see it's just it's got a whole little understory too of different shrubby legumes and other scrubby plants growing beneath it. So anyway, let's take a look and check it out and see what's going on with this very curious and very cool species of columnar cactus. Okay, so just above the Neobuxbaumia forest, we got another species of columnar cactus, Cephalocereus columna-trajani. You can see this one doesn't branch. It's a little bit more silvery, just very tall totem poles, tall silvery totem poles. And you can see they kind of bend a little bit at the top. All of them kind of bend away from the sun. Now, the reason they do that is it's pretty fantastic, actually. Okay, so it seems to work wonders for them. See that? Looks like someone got a bunch of like cotton swabs stuck to the shady side of that columnar cactus. That's a cephalium. That's where the flowers come out of, the tiny flowers. And the reason they bend like that is they're trying to keep those tiny flowers out of the direct sun. So they're bending northward or northeastward. All right, you don't want those flowers to dry out. They'll dry out in a heartbeat in this hot, dry climate. And so that's what they do. They flower in about March. I don't know. They flower basically through March through June. So they're done right now. And so, you know, if they dry out too quick, they wouldn't be able to emit a scent. All the nectar in them would dry out. Everything they're doing to attract those pollinators would be for nil. It would just get fried. So it's pretty interesting to see them all doing it. To just see them bending like that. All right? The sun's to the south, so they're bending away from the south to create a little shady side for their tiny flowers. See that? You see where all the flowers are? It looks like one of those little rat tail haircuts some of the gangbangers used to get in Chicago, you know? Where it's like a little tail down the back of your neck. See that? But it's on the shady side because the thing's bending away. You don't see any flowers on the sunny side, do you? No, because they just get fried. So all those hairs, the hairs too, help protect the flowers from drying out. See that? Of course, the flowers are done. Yeah, you can see some old perianth down there. See that wrinkled old perianth? Wonder if there's any fruits up there. Who disperses the fruits? The birds? And then there's a young one. See? Look at it. Look at those spines. Just like it looks like get the density like a thick fishing line with a point at the end. Very hairy cactus. And coming up right next to this, well, that's a hectia. I almost thought that was an agave. They always throw me off. Coming up right next to it, we got a cool member of the asparagus family in the genus Hemiphilicus. You can see the flowers are almost done. Seen a really cool member of this genus on the gypsum areas near Galeana and Nuevo Leon. This would make a wonderful plant for cultivation. Just a little succulent monocot with a little corm in the ground. A tiny little mam over there. How about that? And then there's that fruit when it's done. Just a little ball. See that? Ooh. Really beautiful monocot. I don't know how they grow on this hard calcareous caliche shit. Other genus right there, colloquially known as the bisnaga. Echinocactus plateacanthus. They can get much larger than it, but they look a little bit different when they're young. All right, we are in a somewhat disturbed area. We're just on the side of the road right here. Look at it, beautiful. Oh, look at this texture on it. Does it make you horny? Maybe a little bit. You know what? A lot of people don't give a shit about cacti, I've understood. But I can't understand it, because to me they're just such fantastic fucking organisms. Any succulent, you know? I guess I relate to them a little spiny on the outside, but when you bloom, you got a beautiful flower, you know? You got something beautiful going on inside you there, guy. You just maybe, you know, maybe your environment's made you a little mean, that's all. All right, happens to the best of us. Yeah, what a beast. Echinocactus plateacanthus. Look at it. It's about 4 feet tall. Maybe 3. 3.5. Massive flowers, and you got a cephalium up here too. So much fuzz. Like the fuzzy shit. Okay, now further down the road, see, we're just giving you a tour if you ever need a place to piss if you're in the area. Got myrtilla cactus, all right, aka the blueberry cactus. You can see why they call it that. Got those cute little edible fruits coming out of the areoles right there. All right, this is a banger. It gets used a lot in horticulture where it'll grow. You can see it in Texas and California a lot. Also gets used for grafting. I've seen an Areocarpus. Some guy who was poaching Areocarpus in West Texas was grafting them to these. Look at that beautiful bastard, a little candelabra. Listen to that beautiful cicada. Isn't it nice? Look at that. Just a bunch of spiky, fuzzy totem poles on this limestone hillside. Holy shit. Geology here is all, you know, calcareous sediments. I'm guessing Cretaceous. Little bits of iron and what the shit. Actually, this looks like iron-rich mud, indicating a tropical environment. Stepping over here, you could see the Cephalocereus. Now, the genus Neobuxbaumia, which was another cool columnar totem pole cactus, just got merged into this. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's what they're going to be doing now. You could see you got multiple ribs. Okay, since it's not flowering, all right, you got to go by, you know, whatever other character traits you got, which is how are the spines arranged? What does the apical spine growth look like? How many ribs does it got? You could see it's got upwards of at least 2 or 3 dozen ribs over there. Got a nice glaucous color to it, and it's got a little, looks like a little viejito, huh? Look at it, you know? Long spines, long white spines, and you got some little darker ones right in there. And then there's an older one right there. God damn. Just incredible. You know, when you see them just forming this beautiful texture on a hill like that. Look at it, fucking beast. And it's pleasant here too. Again, it's like it's probably no warmer than 80 degrees. Nice species of ferrocactus here. Looks like it might possibly be Ferrocactus recurvus. Look at that. See how the new growth has bright red betalain pigments. Remember, cacti don't got anthocyanins like many plants do since they're in Caryophyllales. Look at the texture of those new spines. Oh, that's gorgeous. How'd you do that? So you got one central spine, that's rather flattened, and then 5 radial, maybe 6 or 7 radial. Quite a few more actually, probably 7 to 8 radial spines. And then maybe a dozen ribs. They can get much larger than that. Got our old friend Coryphantha pallida back there, of course, very common. Is that Myrtillo cactus? Wonderful habitat. Look at all the old viejitos. Actually, they're young viejitos. Look at it. Look at that. How you not see that? Just what a fucking incredible landscape. Just a bunch of photosynthetic stems. Drop their leaves, just so perfectly adapted to this dry climate. It is Castilla, Cimarubacea. See the velvety shit on the stem? See how those leaves kind of bend back? Sessile. Oops, I just broke it. Shit, it'll be fine. And then there's those bright red bird dispersed fruits. Cimarubacea, the Atlantis family. Oh, look at that beautiful cactus forest. Don't wanna bum you out, but you know, humans love dumping garbage off cliffs apparently. So, all right. So we were just looking at Cephalocereus columna-trajani, which doesn't branch, doesn't have arms, and they tend to bend back. And this is Neobuxbaumia tetetso. This is a new species. Now it's been merged into Cephalocereus tetetso, but I'm going to go ahead and disregard that. You could see it's thriving here, forming a very dense forest, also known as a tetecheria. Just a fucking beautiful sight. Look at it. Look at all that. Oh my God. I'm seeing chasers. It's coming back to me. All my days of doing acid. Anyway, see that? Look at these. Goddamn. You know, I guess to some people it's just a bunch of green totem poles. To me, it's formed its own plant community here, its own ecosystem. Understory of various legumes, maybe a couple bursaras, frankincense family, Bursaraceae. Got a couple of agaves down there too, a couple mahues. You got Talansi recurvata and everything. In a tetecheria, there's so many ways to get stabbed. Look at this nice agave. Got mean fabids everywhere. Is that a mimosa or no? I can't even tell. Maybe just, you know what? I can't tell. Ah, fuck. I just got a spike in the groin. Oh, we got a species of euphorbia. Looks like antisyphilitica, but it's not. Ah, fuck. Listen, ma'am. It's a little bit thicker and more robust than antisyphilitica, which we get in West Texas. Got Cactus recurvus over there. Coryphantha pallida. Another goddamn ma'am. Looks like a golf ball. And more fabids. And then here, of course, is our beautiful bastard Neobuxbaumia tetetso. You can see its branches, I don't know, about 6 feet up the trunk. But the branches stay pretty close to the main stem. It's Tillandsia. Look at that. You know, the heat's not too bad. If you could take Texas heat, and a lot of people can't, I barely can, but if you could take Texas heat, you do fine with this. Beautiful. Is that a Parkinsonia or Circidium? It's got the photosynthetic stem, and it's a fabid. And then here's that Euphorbia roseana. Look at the flowers on that. Oh. See that? Spreading cyathial bracts, okay? It's not an individual flower. It's a cyathium. Okay, we're talking Euphorbiaceae, so it's a different flower morphology. Look at the yellow nectaries too, those little yellow nectar glands. And you can see they get much taller than antisyphilitica. How am I going to get through here without getting stabbed? My shit's getting torn up. I'm getting fucking tired of this, man. Just kidding, I'm fine. Look at it. That euphorbia is just growing everywhere. You got massive tillandsias in the trees and another fabid. Oh, that's quite a beautiful fabid. Look at those feathery leaves up there. You can see the bracts turn a little bit of a red color to help attract the hummers to it. But look at how massive those get. Beautiful legumes. Who doesn't love the peas, the desert peas? Right, the nitrogen fixing probably has a lot to do with how they thrive in these rocky environments. Look at this cute little agave hiding out in this Euphorbia roseana. Okay? Get the black teeth. The distal black teeth. And a blue glaucous color. Okay, and then still in the tetecheria, we got a mallow. We got a member of Malvaceae. This is in the genus Aenia. There's the flower right there. We get one of these in Texas. It's critically endangered. It doesn't get as big as this. It's got more subtle flowers. Look at it. Used to be, I think it's Bitnarioideae is the subfamily. But look at it. It's got like a blood red. Oh, kind of like kind of looks like dried blood, you know? You ever been, outside like a bodega, you see some dried blood on the sidewalk? Maybe not. A lot of you probably haven't lived in cities before, but I spent a lot of time in cities. Sometimes you see the aftermath of like a knifing or a street fight. It's like got that color of mahogany to it. Look at that. Look, pendant flowers too. God, this fucking thing's amazing. So you got the anthers, those little yellow things on the underside. Always, every flower's a puzzle. Got to figure out what's going on with it. How's it getting the pollinators in there? We got a croton here. Crotons all over the world, of course. Euphorbiaceae, poinsettia family. Dioecious, so that's a male flower right there with all those stamens. Then the females tend to be, see if we can find them further down. I'm not seeing any here. And then right beneath that, we got a bromeliad, a relative of the pineapple, trying to act like an agave, all right? Vicious spines on that fucking thing. God damn, look at it. Oh. And look at this guy. Look at it. Member of the creosote family, Zygophalaceae, Morcillia mexicana. All right? Grows in San Luis Potosi, too, north of Mexico City. And you got this population here in Puebla. Look at it. 8 stamens, 4 petals, pinnate leaves, odd pinnate leaves. Got a distal leaflet, too. All right. Our old friend Lippia verbenaceae smells nice. Could use it as oregano. You know, it's a culinary delight. This guy, you wouldn't want to do that with, though. This is quite toxic. This is in the genus Carwinskia rhamnaceae, the family there. Let's see. This is, let's get the flowers in there. Flower buds, they open yet or what? No, not quite. Look at that. You got the tillandsia stuck to the techo. How about that? You got any more growing up there? No, they like the shady side. You got all kinds of dainty mams on the ground. You got that agave again. And right here, we got a member of the genus Bursera, frankincense family. So when you crush those leaves or break a little twig off, it smells very pleasant. Palo Santo is in the same family, but it's from South America. You can see why they call them elephant trees. A lot of variations on a Bursera in North America. See, they got that little pachycorm trunk, a little elephant foot. All right, a lot of Burseras, they're like kind of small trees. They don't get too big. Look at that, glabrous. A lot of wax on that leaf. Okay, this is a weird one, all right. Calcicula parvifolia from the Malpighiaceae, the namesake family of the order that the willows and poinsettias are in, Malpighiales. There's those petals withered. You can see that clawed petals, like many Malpighiaceae flowers. Opposite leaves, but heavily tomentose, almost silvery, kind of looking like a Texas sage almost, like a leucophyllum. All right, very common plant here. Now, I wish there was a way to date cacti. Beautiful echino cactus. Probably got 50 ribs on him. He's about 3 feet tall. Probably weighs 600 pounds. These Neobuxbaumers have seen some shit, huh? How about that? Look at that color. Spine's almost all gone. Look at it. Just a forest. Wouldn't even make a nice background for your phone, huh? Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so obscene. That agave doesn't seem to be pupping. It seems to just produce. So it's not clonal. It just goes by seed. Here's the inflorescence. It's a paniculate inflorescence as opposed to a spicate inflorescence, just meaning it's got a peduncle. If it didn't have that peduncle right there, these side branches, it would just be a spike. And there's those fruits, capsules just open. Oh, you still got some seeds in there. How about that? So seeds, the neos they got spines when they're young, and then as they mature, they lose them, and you get this nice, smooth, well, it's a little bit scarred, a little bit weathered. You got some residual spines right there, but up, you know, all the way up that thing, they disappear. Just a beautiful, smooth green totem pole. Looks like you got about 5,000 of them over there. Okay, here at the Zapotecan Salinas Botanic Garden, you can see we got a couple of agaves. Looks like agave Carwinskia. All right, a coalescent agave. It's got a stalk, so it almost looks like a yucca. You got some damn orchids too, just growing right here. You think of the desert, you think of orchids growing as epiphytes. Remember, they got that little pseudobulb, that storage mechanism to store some moisture and some carbs. Also got a Hylocereus, probably some sort of Selenocereus. Got your tillandsia right there, and of course our friend Euphorbia roseana, the giant candelilla, with all those ovaries just dangling out of those sciatia. We got a massive bastard of a tillandsia. Nice parallel venation with the wax. Just coming up on some unknown fabid. Maybe a Senegalia. It does seem to be a Senegalia. It's already gone to fruit. You can see it's done flowering. Whole thing is about, the whole plant is probably, I don't know, almost 3 feet tall. About, look at it. It's coming up in the understory of the cactus forest. Right there we got a massive example of Bocarnia gracilis coming up next to the Neobuxbaumia. Dominant species here is Neobuxbaumia. We're still in the Tetecheria. Look at it. Look at the fucking trunk on that thing. It's probably 3 feet across. Look at the beautiful patina on that agave. Man, look at this. This plant's got all these caterpillars on it. And the pollinators are loving it too. You got all kinds of damn butterflies and bees and shit on it, but I don't see any flowers. Has they got extra floral nectaries or what's going on? What are these guys doing over there? What you doing? See, he's collecting something on there. What are you getting at? There's no flowers there. You eating caterpillar shit or something? You collecting some kind of oil, some sort of other exudate off this plant? Look at those mams. Look at it. You got some fuzz. You got some trichomes in between those areoles. Quite long central spines too. And then there's that Phaerocactus recurvus. Almost a perfect spiral with those ribs. A subtle spiral, but you could see what he's doing. You get those brand new beta-lane pigments coming out. You can see there's still tissue still kind of soft right there. He hasn't hardened off yet. These Parkinsonia praecox just covered in Tillandsia recurvata up top. Got the photosynthetic stem, you know, so they can drop the leaves and go about the stem photosynthesis. Got a tiny little agave hanging out there. I don't know if that's Salmiana or what. There's like 5 different species of agave in the direct vicinity. Lomerocereus halianus. Halianus. So we got a nice Stenocereus right here. Look at the new growth. Bright red. Hasn't hardened off yet. Tissue's still fresh. Spines are still pliable. That's a young one. There's some larger ones. Just a nice little organ pipe. You get your mams all over the ground and what the shit. Nice member of the Asteraceae, whatever that is. Look at it. They look like tribbles. Those little pads. Look at it. A whole understory of cacti. I'm amazed at how not hot it is. I mean, it's warm, but it's not. You're not gonna die out here. Yeah, I could hang out here naked, fine. Probably get chilly at night. Look at how those central spines just shoot straight down. Okay. This central, maybe you got 3 central spines, and you got a bunch of radial spines. And you know, don't quote me on any of this. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. These things, the architecture on these things is just, it's so incredible. Amazing what you can do with just a stem and a couple spines. Oh, that's nice. You ever seen a rainbow in a Tetecheria before? It's raining a little bit. It's such a pleasant temperature. I want to move in here. I want to build a little shack. You can see how the Neobuxbaumia is. It's got a little toupee. It's like a little Bernie Sanders thing going on. Or now it's Cephalocereus. Yeah, I guess I could see how it's a Cephalocereus. It does have all those trichomes up top, you know, to blunt the apical meristem from the harshest effects of the sun and the ultraviolet light. You can't even hear me with that fucking wind, can you? That's okay. Just enjoy the scenery. Did you know there were so many different species of columnar cactus? Look at this senna. Look at it. It's a lantern senna. See, you get the pinnate leaves. Obviously, it's a pea. But just like little paper lanterns dangling down. They've got pendant flowers. Let's open it up and look at all those weird stamens that sennas have. Because remember, they got porocidal anthers for the buzz pollination. See, they got the little tubes in the end of those banana-looking anthers. And they normally have staminodes, and some of them can have 3 different types of anthers. But I'm just kind of blown away that these are not, I mean, they're pendant. So the bees got to get up in there. This is a fucking beautiful species. I would love to grow this. Look at it. Look at those sepals, just like a little hat. Green sepals atop a yellow pendant little lantern flower. Holy shit. Then the leaflets are kind of paddle shaped. You know, see they taper at the base. Senna wislizenii. Got your malamu hair down here too, your stinger. You know, there's an edible species in that genus called Chaya. Euphorbiaceae is the family. Those little stingers got the serotonin in them. We get Nidoscolus hexanus. This is a different species. Oh, who's this? What's this, Bursera? Yeah, we got a Bursera down there. See that? Elephant tree bark. Frankincense family again. So many different kinds of Bursera. Smells incredible. You crush those leaves, you get the little berry fruits. Technically, it's a drupe. It's only got 1 seed inside. Look at it. Skeletons of a Cephalocereus. You got all the bark down there. at the base. Let's take a look at this ocotillo species, Fucaria formosa, right there. See, there's the spines. Remember, it just turns its petioles into spines. Actually, this might be different. Fucaria splendens. See, the leaves are sessile. Fucaria splendens, the northern ocotillo, does that. Turns its petioles into spines. This might have something else going on. There's the fruit, little capsule. I assume it's Hummer pollinated, like almost the rest of the genus. Well, most of them. These little fascicled leaves. See that? Wow. Yeah, they're fascicled. No petioles, so maybe the spines are axillary petioles. Who knows what the base tissue is for those spines? Doesn't get very big. You got photosynthetic bark too. Eric Haley's, same order as blueberries. How about that? Quite a few species of ocotillo in mainland Mexico. Some of them look really, really, really fucking cool. And again, look at it. Here, look at how white the ball moss is down here. Same species in Texas, just a different ecotype. This thing smells amazing. Almost thought it was Verbenaceae because of the smell, but it doesn't have opposite leaves. When you look at the flowers, they're Boraginaceae. The flowers seem to indicate the borage family. This is Veronia curacivicum. Look at that. So you got a cyme. Get up close, you could see, get in there and see the stamens and whatnot. Leaves covered in the tiny hairs, which are also a good synapomorphy for Boraginaceae. Sometimes irritating hairs, but the smells on this thing is incredible. Wonder if it's used as a spice. Oh, yeah, it kind of stinks a little bit. Not too bad, though. And look at it, Talanzi. Holy shit. Look at it. It's a tree parthenium. How about that? You like parthenium? Oh, my God. Quite closely related to ambrosia. See, they just got those weird 5 ligules poking out. Actually, maybe each capitulum has a few more than that. Either way, there's the leaves. Partheniums are cool, man. They're like ambrosia, but ambrosia is wind pollinated. The flower structures are somewhat similar to ambrosia in that they got that weird ligulate pattern. But these are insect pollinated, and they're quite pungent too. Quite a few in the desert. They're very successful in the arid areas of North America. Let's flip that leaf over. Oh, look at that abaxial surface. Look at it. It's white with so much damn fuzz. How about that? Oh, God, those cymes are just fucking something else. I guess it's more like a corim. Oh. And of course, since Verbenaceae, the verbena family is so diverse in the arid lands of North America, we got a lantana. Ah. And South America too. Don't forget, a lot of Verbenaceae in South America. Look at that inflorescence. How many tubes you got there? Technically, they're bilaterally symmetrical. Always got opposite leaves, and they tend to smell really good. Lantana, of course, can be a horticultural atrocity, but I kind of like it. I like it. Oh yeah, look at that nice tillandsia. Oh, just holding on there, like roots like little feet. Oh, do you like your silage? Looks like Lepidophylla, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's a different species. Maybe it's Lepidophylla. Maybe it's the resurrection fern we get up in Texas. Just quite far removed and quite a different habitat. Again, we're at 5,500 feet. It's not too hot here. They're so beautiful, though, you know, for a more primitive lineage, an early branching lineage of plant, you know, the lycophytes. Then you got this cute little pea. This looks like some sort of damn crotalaria or something. It's a fabid, Faboidea. So it's Faboidea subfamily. Dainty-ass little leaves, and then look, you got these segmented beans. Feathery foliage and what the shit, like cute little shrub. But I really love that Selaginella. Okay, and here's Agave marmorata. You can call it the drunk agave because it looks like it's, you know, it's phyllotex. They got a little wibbly wobbly, you know, it's not very straight. Look at it. Look at that. This is where the new leaf blades are coming out. That's all wobbly too. But goddamn, it's got a scabbard texture to it, and that farina, that wax, is something else. Look at it, occurring in bands. God, some agaves are just so incredible. They can be like looking at fire, you know? Or maybe we'll say looking at fire when you're high. Because they're just so pleasant to look at. Just look into my agave. Huh? Look into my apocomeris stem. You know the teeth on it and shit? Oh, God. It's coming up in a cactus forest. A cactus and pea forest. Anyway, well, that's all we got for you today. Okay, say goodnight to Cephalocereus, a.k.a. Neobuxbaumia, the artist formerly known as Neobuxbaumia. I grew one of these from seed. It's I've had it like 5 years. It's still 6 inches tall. It's just not the right climate for it where I got. Look at the understory. Look at this stuff. You got your calcareous soil, Cretaceous limestones and shales and what the shit. And he's got a whole understory of different mammillarias, young tetechos, myrtillo cactus. What a fucking incredible place. Thank God it's protected. It is a biosphere reserve. Then you got those hills over there that just look like a freaking optical illusion. Look at it. You ever been in a tetecheria before? I don't think so. Anyway, that's all I got for you this evening. Have a good rest of your night. You go fuck yourself. Bye. Goddamn restaurant's amazing. Look at that. You can eat neobuxbaumia flowers. Everything here. At Ambar. Everything here is local. Alright? This puts all those yuppie joints to shame. And it's affordable. 80 pesos, it's like $4. Plato de insectos, you got caterpillars, you got, this is an ant sauce, I believe. These are neobuxbaumia flowers. They're very delicious. You got some beans. Is that beans over there? Yeah. You got Cephalocereus fruit water. Very delicious. You get the cactus seeds in there. And, you know, we're getting all Anthony Bourdain. You get the crickets, the chapulines on top of the tortilla with the guac. That was fucking delicious. You know, all this nasty shit. I love it. But it's all stuff you want to put in your mouth. You know, you get some gringos down here. They'd be too scared to eat a lot of this shit. It's great, though. I love it. All right. It's fucking delicious. I'm having a wonderful time here. You got a tortilla with the neobuxbaumia flowers on it and some chapulines. I wonder if the vegans would have something to say with this. Probably. The vegans got something to say about everything, all right? They're never going to hesitate to lecture you. Not all vegans. Hashtag not all vegans, but quite a lot of them. That ant sauce is kind of weird, though. And then lastly, we got pechuga de pollo stuffed with the cactus flowers, stuffed with the neobuxbaumia. The sauce is incredible. You know, this is... We're slowly making our way on the plato de insectos, though.